I used to work at Rooster Teeth. I'm going to be talking about everything, about how I got hired, my experience, maybe a story or two. We'll see how it goes. So my senior year of college, I really just was spam applying to jobs and just like getting on a bunch of film sets and stuff and trying to just really push myself, make the most of my last year. In 1 month, I was like tracking every job and I saw that I applied to like 100 in a month. One of them was Funhaus. In that first initial month where I was just really going in with applying, I didn't hear anything from anybody, not a single other job. Another month goes by, I keep applying, I apply to like 70 more jobs, I don't hear anything. And like, keep in mind, that's 170 jobs that I applied to, and I had the receipts, man. I was a video producer and executive producer at the time. Video editing skills, graphic design skills, I got the chops. I don't know why nobody fucks with me, but the only one who did fuck with me was Funhaus. Yeah, out of all the jobs I applied to, the one that I thought was a dream job, the one that I applied to that was like a shot in the dark, I got. And I was like, holy fuck, that is amazing. And then I scheduled the interview and I don't know, I was telling people, I was so excited. I had a bunch of friends who like was fans of like Rooster Teeth properties and stuff. And I was also really nervous too, but I think I had the advantage going into it because I was like a fan of Funhaus. I really enjoyed their content, especially during like my high school into like college year. Yeah, so time flies by, we get to the interview and then I am met with Lindsay and Rick. I remember this going super well. I don't know if they remember how my interview went, but at least for me, I felt like super confident. I felt like I was really being myself. And I think that's because I knew what Funhaus was. I was very just familiar with their content. And I think that gave me a really big advantage when it came to just like talking to them. And something I'll note about this interview is that I didn't really try to be too professional myself. Like, I remember cursing in this. I don't recommend doing that for all your interviews, but if you catch the vibe that, you know, you can kind of be more personable and be more of yourself, do that. Make yourself stand out. Try to give them something they'd want to remember. I think that's the best thing you can do with interviews. The interview went pretty well because afterwards they gave me a special Photoshop prompt that I had to work on and show them as like kind of like a test to see if I could like handle it. And the prompt was, on the bridge of a spaceship, James and Patrick receive a message from hologram alien Jacob warning them of dire consequences. They gave us a bunch of assets like Funhaus faces and like even Funhaus tutorials that they would give to the interns to just kind of like help people who needed it. This is a graphic I did. I'll show it right here. I made it in like an hour. I think it's really good, all things considered. They were definitely like really adamant on the fact that you had to make graphics fast. So I definitely tried my best to stay within that hour limit. I heard back pretty fast that I had got it. One of two interns. I was going to Burbank, like for my job, you know. It felt like I was getting there, man. Like I was basically living my dream almost. I was like very close. Man, I was so happy. I sent a bunch of thank you emails to like the people who interviewed me, you know, the people at like Rooster Teeth HR who was emailing me for the onboarding stuff. I was like very grateful, very happy. I was texting friends. I was like, holy fuck, like this is awesome. So now I'm gonna be talking about what I was doing. One of the main things I did was just cut a bunch of ads and mid-rolls for podcasts and videos and stuff like that. Cutting a lot of these ads and just like doing a lot of that like really business oriented stuff helped me learn a lot. I had worked with sponsors and clients in the past, but nothing to the scale of Factor. You know, these like big companies, like I'd never worked with that before, so that was just sick experience to even be a part of. Another thing I did was graphics. Man, I did a lot of graphics. My video kind of launching this year was about the graphics I did there, if you want to go check that out. But yeah, I just learned like a lot of different techniques just by like casually making stuff. It was also super great just to get like feedback from really respectful and creative people who had visions. I've worked with people who have no fucking vision and it sucks. These people are talented, creative, and they gave me really genuine and helpful feedback. And I can't express how much that fucking means to me. It felt like they saw my potential and had the intention of giving me a space to let me grow and flourish. And I don't know, it was just such a supportive environment in a way that I hadn't really felt before, honestly. These were people that I looked up to giving me this support. Like, it's crazy, man. I also did some data entry stuff. To keep it really simple, I would just log a lot of the music that was used in videos to make sure that the people who made the music got their royalties and stuff like that. I also set up a lot of their like multicam productions and podcasts, a lot of staging the cameras, doing set design, making sure everything was operational. I also learned how to operate like different cameras. Like they had like a Blackmagic 6K, like a different Blackmagic, and then some handy cams and stuff. So I was like using a bunch of different cameras at my time there too, which was super cool. And I was also just like a general PA, so anything they needed, so like errands or just cleaning, doing anything, I would just kind of do that. I got in a position where I was able to basically see what it's like to be a YouTuber, you know, and I've been making YouTube videos my whole life. My whole life, I cannot stress that enough, my whole life I've been uploading to YouTube. And I finally was there. And not only was I just there, I was working with people that I watched, which was just like, I don't know, it blew my mind, and it still does. Everybody was so kind to me. I'm not lying. I'm not just trying to do some PR bullshit. Everybody, they were so kind to me. So helpful, always easy to work with. I normally have really bad anxiety meeting people I look up to. There's a lot of like concerts I've been to, and I take pictures with artists, and honestly, I get really nervous and I get really shaky. But it was different here. I got here and I just felt welcomed immediately. Now I'm going to be talking about kind of like the bigger part of Rooster Teeth, and my experience was kind of the end of it. Just for reference, I'm speaking from my personal experience. I cannot speak for anybody who was affected by this, like, to a greater scale than me, people who had worked there for years. I'm just going to speak from my perspective, somebody who was there for less than a year. On a random morning where I was coming in, I got an email saying that there was going to be a closure of Rooster Teeth and stuff. And immediately I felt like this sinking feeling in my stomach. Being an employee there and like being in Slack, and you realize how many people like live off this job. It was very, very sad. I wasn't there for too long, and it was very sad to me. And I can't imagine how a lot of these other people felt. And honestly, like, I feel kind of selfish for feeling this way sometimes, but it feels like I was so close to like getting somewhere. And I know I still have the experience on my resume, but just not staying there, honestly, and having it taken away made me like super depressed. Like this amazing opportunity that I got so lucky to have was like being taken away from me right when I got it. And I was feeling a lot of emotions too, but again, I can't imagine what some of the other people were feeling. I go into the office that day still. It was a normal work day, you know? The vibes are immediately different. I kind of assumed that like somebody knew at Funhaus, like everybody from each channel and every department kind of knew something, but nah, like they all found out the same way I did, which I think is fucking crazy. They let me know when these guys who have been here for a decade and more, like what? Like, I don't know. But yeah, no one really worked that day when I came in. It was kind of just assessing the situation, comforting each other, and like figuring out how to end Funhaus the right way, which I think they did an amazing job of doing, by the way. But yeah, we kept going until we couldn't anymore. Like, I would still come in, even though they would tell me I didn't have to come in because of the situation. I came in anyway to see what I can do to help out. I got to even be on their last stream. I was just like, I think I was just honestly doing cue sheets and like doing data entry stuff, and then Elise came by my desk. She was like going back to the stream, and she was like, hey, do you want to make an appearance on the stream? How do I pass that up, right? You know, like, how do I just say no to that?
So something that has been I mean, you all know that Jacob was an intern before he started here, but we've always had interns helping us at Funhaus, and we've had some really amazing ones come through.
Zach
so
Woods.
many. And ones who like are still very much part of, you know,
Friends.
for the family and friends and stuff. So we have one intern who has been helping us. He's still here. Let's bring him in to say hello. Come here, Jason.
Come on in, Jason.
I love making videos and being in stuff, by the way, but something about this moment scared the shit out of me, man. It was so scary. I was shaking so fucking much.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but if you want to, what has it been like being a Funhaus intern?
It's been really cool. I was a fan prior, so it's been like a definitely like surreal experience.
A glowing review!
Not abusive at all.
No, but seriously, thank you.
Everyone apply.
I don't know if, for better or for worse. I mean, our interns have always been a huge part of the production process. Like, it isn't just hang out and observe. It's like genuinely working on these videos. A lot of your favorite Photoshops have probably been made by Jason or other interns over the years, and animations and all kinds of cool graphics and things like that. So, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
I remember when Jason walked in and we were all sitting around a computer learning about how we lost our jobs.
It was surreal. And then Ryan decides to shout out my short film. That was random. Very appreciated, though.
Jason, what's the name of your short film I watched yesterday? That was really good.
It's called Dear Alina.
Dear Alina. Everyone go check out Dear Alina on YouTube. I hope this is okay. A-L-I-N-A.
A-L-I-N-A. Dear Alina.
A-L-I-N-A. I really liked it. It was super inventive and cool.
I'm going to check that out.
D-E-A-R?
D-A-R-A-L-I-N-A.
I shot a short film a while back called Dear Alina, and then, I asked for feedback and kind of them to watch it because they're all film buffs, and he just shouted me out during the live stream, and it got like way more views than it would have otherwise. So huge shout out to Ryan. Thank you so much, bro. I love you. Camera died, sorry. Yeah, I just never expected it, and it still feels very surreal to like look back on that short film and see the views it has, because I don't know, my stuff doesn't normally perform, so it's just like cool. My time at Funhaus, the whole experience from interview to the end, it was amazing. It was fun. I would not take it back for the world. I just wish that I had more time there.